preconceptions, I want to put you on the spot now, did you have about Nollywood before doing this that got broken while shooting?
To be honest, I'm more of an art house film person.
Okay.
The fact that I also was privileged to have grown up in Germany and being exposed to so many films, Asian cinema, French, German, and other various cinemas, I was always very skeptical of Nollywood because I felt that there was the right hype, but it wasn't living up to the expectations, and it wasn't branching out with its stories. So like 99% of the stories I couldn't relate to because I felt it was like telenovela being sold to me as movies. And with this script, what I liked was the layers, you know, and the way the characters were kind of being introduced and how the whole story was unveiling itself. And the fact that I was given an opportunity to challenge myself felt right. And there was a bit of a trust there also based on the fact that Chioma and I are friends, and I saw her go through the process, and then Wale Ojo also recommended and said, Ade, you should give it a shot and read the script. I think it's something you should look into. So I said, why not?
Yeah. What was the hardest part of doing this, though? I mean, you've been on sets, definitely. Even if this is your first feature film on your own, you've been a part of other productions. What was different this time?
I almost died.
Thank God.
Thank God I'm alive. I think it's still taking a loss out of me. I think for this project, making a feature film is very different from making a short. Yeah. I realized that quickly because shorts you're not under too much commercial pressure. So you're doing it for festivals, you're doing it for online. So for this, for yourself. For this, you have investors that you have to pay back. You have. And you have to bring in people to sell the film as well. So there has to be a plan. So the whole project, I guess, is very difficult to put together. But then at the same time, very exciting. I think I'm terrified and excited at the same time. But it's not over until people see it.
Yeah. How far away now are we from? I know we always say we don't need the international community to approve or anything. But how far away are we from that sort of recognition? I mean, they recognize Nollywood, but we're talking about films now being given the sort of respect that we want them to get. How far away are we from that?
I think we're already there, mainly because of the platforms that have opened up. So there's online platforms, so your film is not restricted to the video club anymore. There are people all over the world that can watch it, in seconds. So there's already, and you're competing for time as well. So the same people that watch your films are exposed to Netflix. They're exposed to more content. So you have to compete for their time. So basically, we are at the point where we're competing with the international content. And in terms of validation and recognition, I think we are also at that point, because we're submitting films to festivals internationally. It's taking place. Kunle Afolayan CEO, for instance, it's a Pan-African film. So I was at LA last year at Relativity, and it was interesting because at the end of that, there were actually more people from there that were willing to come down and work on projects here. So the world is opening up. Our content is global, and our audience is as well.
You did say something when you were speaking earlier about, the sort of stories you were not be able to relate to. So do you think the problem is a lack of stories, or stories not being told well, or just a production issue generally?
I think the stories are not being told well. We have more than enough stories. If you take South America, for example, and you see where Brazilian or Chilean movie makers are, they have similar backstories, and they tell them very well, The thing is that we need to evolve and we need to challenge ourselves. We're not reinventing the wheel here. What you just need to do is be inspired by other cultures where people are bold enough to take that daring step. And even within the shores of Africa, look at what's happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Senegal. We have great filmmakers in South Africa. So yeah, there is a big hype around Nollywood. I respect that, but we need to deliver the goods because we're global, we're international. Yeah. As Chioma said, we're competing against Netflix, amongst many others,
Yeah. Great. So, let's go back to you now. I know you've been on this show before, and I always talk about Nollywood and unity and all of that. And I know you're part of a Thursday Nollywood.
Nolly Thursday.
Nolly Thursday. Yeah. I almost got there. What I know your aim, of course, is to bring Nollywood and fans together.
Yeah.
But with Nollywood itself, how's that working out with Nolly Thursdays?
With Nollywood itself.
Yeah.
I think.
The practitioners as a whole.
Okay, because every edition of Nolly Thursdays, we have a different film. So what we try to do with that is we try to showcase whatever film is in the cinema at the moment.
Okay.
So we can get the cast and crew to come and re-promote it. So it's like so it's trying to be like a fan premiere. So they're there, the fans are there, they can take pictures. So the core of Nolly Thursdays is really directed towards the fans. It's growing that audience. Is people who would not necessarily go to the cinema to watch a Nigerian film. Just come because there's a bit more, there's a DJ, there's music, let's come and hang out and come and chill and then watch a film at the same time. And
but
then
platforms like that going to help? Is that part of your plan maybe going forward? Where, I mean, we do have that with the music industry. I hate to compare that to Industry Night or anything because I know music is a completely different ballgame.
Yes.
But do you see that sort of platform coming?
Definitely. I think that's the goal because that's really the audience. So in terms of the practitioners or the industry themselves, they need to connect to the audience.
Yeah.
So any little bit helps.
Yeah.
Tesco.
Okay. without trying to focus too much on the issue of learning disabilities now, I just want to ask you. I know you were in the movie, and of course, a part of the movie does tell that story. Doing that movie, what did it do for you with regards to what she explained at the beginning of the show with regards to learning disabilities? Learning
disabilities, growing up and having friends that had difficulties catching up, it was always heartbreaking, because when you see teachers that were absolutely impatient and the brutality with which they expressed it, physical, measures that were taken, the beatings and all that, the frustrations I saw in the eyes and also in the behavior patterns of colleagues and their friends, a lot of kids were broken at a very early stage in their lives, and even me, I know that I wasn't doing very well at school when I started, and my dad almost gave up on me, and it was just because I was more of a playful child, I just wasn't too interested, and then when I was like 12, all of a sudden the light switch went on, and then I caught up. So it's the patience that is required, the love, and this is 2016, I mean, for crying out loud. We shouldn't be having stigmas and taboos anymore.
Especially with children.
We need to talk about these things. And that's why a film like this is so crucial, it's so important that we talk about these things.
Choma, when people see this movie, what do you want them to take away from it, if anything? I mean, probably more than one thing, but what are some things you want people to leave the cinema thinking about?
I think there are films that you watch and then you wake up the next day and you start to continue thinking about this.
But maybe want to watch again.
Yeah, definitely.
You'd like that.
But I'd like people to see themselves in the film or see somebody they know. I think that's the strongest thing for me as a filmmaker is that I'm able to have an individual connection with everybody that watches the film. Yeah. And it's because I did a screening at the festival last year, a work in progress screening, and that was basically the feedback because I got people who came up to me and said, I never even knew this was the problem that my brother has, or even aside from the problem, I just want people to connect on an individual level to the film. And there's so many elements to connect to in the film. Yeah. There's love, there's music.
People like love.
Yeah,
so
people like
that's
love.
A good reason to go watch.
Exactly. There's betrayal. People do that.
And it's always a fun twist.
There's a lot of things for people to connect with, and I'm hoping that people connect individually to the film.
So are they more Nollywood going forward?
I can't say. It's pretty much a one-off for now. I was involved in another production, which was more experimental. It's a bit of a horror flick. But for now, it has to be a good script, and I have to trust the person directing, because ultimately, unlike music, I'm a control freak and I have OCD, so it's a very bad combination.
So you hate being directed?
No, I don't have a problem. You have to have a vision, and I have to trust you, because ultimately, I'm not there when you're editing, which is a bit of the scary part, because I've been bugging Shoma for weeks now. I'm like, wait, can I see a finished movie? I don't want to see it at the premiere. No. She's like, no, you have to come to the cinemas. Like, okay. But it's exciting, and who knows if there's something good out there. I like challenging myself.
Definitely.
So I like going out of my comfort zone.
Great
That's
stuff.
what art is all about, you know.
So, Chama, how do people get to see the movie? When is it out?
So it's out in cinemas on 3rd of June. So cinemas nationwide.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically just go to the cinema 3rd of June and watch Eight Bass and the Clef.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing it. The name is actually very catchy. So,
Yeah.
is it a musical?
No,
Or there's just a lot of music in it?
There's music in the film, but it's not a musical. So
Okay.
people shouldn't be scared that anybody's going to break into song.
You did say there's a soundtrack. Who's it by?
IBK Spaceship
IBK.
Boy,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
He's also
Good
lead
stuff.
actor in the film.
We'll be looking forward to that. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you
Good
for
luck. Good
having
luck
us.
with the movie, and good luck. Looking forward to all the awards that should come your way, hopefully. I mean, you would like that. Come on.
I mean, it would be nice.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Always my pleasure.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll be talking more entertainment right here on Rubbin Minds. Please do stay with us.